Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sai, and I talk about investing for beginners, a little bit of tech and general business information. Now I've decided to start reporting some of the stories that I've been reading up on in the last week, which I find interesting. And some of these stories will also help me with my investing decisions as well. Now this week I've been interested in stories that have been about the podcast world and some of the ventures that Amazon are up to, and the missing person story of Jack Ma and Samsung phones, as well as Apple. Now, as you can see, I'm quite tech focused, but that's always great to be on top of right now, as the tech industry is clearly booming right now in the markets anyway. So while you watch the intro video, why not subscribe if you haven't already, and try and see what color you can make the like button change.
Amazon Music podcasts are on the way.
So first of all, podcasts. Now, I'm not much of a podcast listener myself. However, podcasts are essentially YouTube videos without the video and just the audio. And I guess the other social platforms are catching on to the opportunity of driving ad revenue from buying out popular podcast platforms. Obviously, podcasts are as old as the 2004 iPods, but in 2016, the global monthly podcast listeners grew from 287 million to last year, where the monthly numbers surpassed 1 billion plus listeners per month and are projected to hit 1.85 billion by 2023. Now recently, Spotify dug deep in their pockets to spend over $700 million over the last 2 years to buy out companies like Ringer and Parcast. Then Apple are also rumored to be increasing their efforts of production on more Apple original podcasts, as it currently hosts over 1 million podcasts, which has doubled since 2018. Then we have Twitter, who just bought the social pod app Breaker. But then there's Amazon, who just bought the podcast network Wondery in order to add to their Amazon Music offering. So there's clearly an opportunity being seen with the mammoth rise of podcasts over the last few years. And these major tech companies probably seeing dollar signs with the idea of pumping out the ad revenue business model. But if you thought that's all Amazon is dipping their toes in, you'll be wrong. They also just bought loads of jets.
Amazon has started the new year by going on a bit of a buying spree. It's buying up nearly a dozen used jets from Boeing.
So where the travel industry is actually suffering a blow after blow with all these lockdowns, good old Amazon decides to swoop in and take full advantage of the struggling companies by buying 11 jets from Delta and WestJet airlines to boost its growing delivery network and to ship orders faster. Now all of the planes will be converted to hold cargo instead of passengers, and it's the first time the company has actually purchased planes for its delivery business. A mix of both leased and owned aircrafts in its fleet will allow Amazon to better manage its operations. The company has been working to lessen its reliance on UPS, the US Postal Service, and other carriers. And obviously this is just in US for now. Now speaking of Amazon, the man known for the Chinese version of Amazon, Alibaba, Jack Ma, has seemed to have gone MIA, or has he?
Thanks so much, Sarah. Well, Jack Ma has been noticeably silent after his high-profile critical rebuke of Chinese regulators back in October. He was even a no-show for a television program that he himself had created, which is an African version of Shark Tank.
So there's been some real worry over Jack Ma's whereabouts, as he has not been seen in public since late last year, November, when he was supposed to appear on his own TV show. And this happened shortly after Ma's huge fintech company, Ant Group, was set to go public with the largest IPO ever. But Chinese regulators ended up suspending the IPO, which resulted in Jack publicly criticizing Chinese regulators for essentially killing innovation. Now, this was pretty much the last time anyone had seen or heard from him. Then on top of that, last month China launched an anti-monopoly probe targeting Alibaba, who owns 33% of Ant Group. Now obviously China was not the happiest of bunnies when Jack referred to their financial regulation as being an old people's club. But comments like that are not illegal, and they can't be the reason for killing an IPO or launching an investigation. Or in China, maybe they can. Either way, China definitely doesn't like the idea of one man or company dominating, as Alibaba has over 750 million customers and Ant has 1 billion users. Bearing in mind, China has a population of almost 1.4 billion. So China clearly doesn't want to have to deal with a mammoth like Amazon or Jeff Bezos, where they become so big that they end up having more power than the government itself, which is why China wants to get their hands into both Alibaba and Ant to have more control over them. But at the end of the day, luckily it seems as though Jack has just been lying a little bit low and not actually gone completely missing, which reassured the investors as Alibaba's stocks went back up a few percent the other day. Now moving on to Samsung. Now next week we will see the first major mobile event of 2021. So Samsung is coming in strong with their Galaxy S21 event. Samsung will announce its latest lineup of Galaxy flagship phones on January 14th, and the tech gurus are speculating that Samsung will announce 3 new smartphones at the event: the Galaxy S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra. There are some rumors also that Samsung may also announce a new Tile competitor and a new set of Galaxy Buds Pro wireless earbuds. I guess we'll just have to wait till next week to find out more for sure. And finally, no tech news is complete without some information from Apple. And apart from the fact that Apple have decided to enter the automotive market, but that's not all that Apple are busy with. A company sitting on so much cash, it would be a disservice to the consumers if they were not venturing out on multiple things. So Apple decides to file patents on a keyboard that takes their touch bar and extends it across the whole keyboard.
Apple has patented a reconfigurable Mac keyboard with a tiny little display in each key.
So Apple was granted a patent for electronic devices having keys with coherent fiber bundles, which basically sounds like a load of words just put together. But essentially it describes how each key on a keyboard could have a display connected to it, meaning that the whole keyboard could be completely reconfigured as needed. So similar to the touch bars currently on the MacBook Pros that change according to the program that you are using on your MacBook. The same could apply for every single key on the keyboard. The designs also seem to see that the system doesn't interfere with the current design of the keyboard, so they should be able to use these new screened keys with the current Magic Keyboard design. Now on top of that, Apple are also planning to jump into the folding phones world, and they recently completed tests for 2 different folding phone designs in their Foxconn factory in China. The first model had a design with 2 separate panels which were connected with a hinge, but despite having 2 panels, the screen looked fairly continuous and seamless, whereas the second prototype was a clamshell foldable phone, similar to the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. It was reported that Apple ordered a large number of Samsung foldable displays for testing in 2020. I guess we will find out later in the year which design Apple decides to bring out. So that's the stories that have interested me in the past week. Well, probably a bit longer than a week. But let me know in the comments below what you think about any of the stories that I've talked about today. And any of the links or the videos that I've shown, I've got them down in the description as well. So if you want to read up on them a little bit more. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that red button and click on the bell as well so you get notified when my next video comes out. And as always, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and share with your friends and family. Peace and love to all of you. See you on the next video. Bye.